Like I said, you could have put chopped pecans in here as well. But, I love chocolate chip cookie. That's just so good. So today, I'm gonna make some chocolate chip cookies. And this is, I made it once already, just to make sure it was actually good. And they were a pretty big hit there. They all went pretty quick. So, to make this, we're gonna have 3/4 of a cup of Crisco, the All Vegetable Shortening, and it basically tells you where to cut it at. So I'll cut it at 3/4. We got 1 1/4 cups of firmly packed light brown sugar, and we're gonna have 2 tablespoons of milk. I don't have milk, but I have some evaporated milk, and it's the same thing. You basically mix it 1 tablespoon of water to 1 tablespoon of evaporated milk to make milk. So that's what I'll use for that. If you had milk, it would be 2 tablespoons of milk, and we use 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla. So I'm using the this brand here, which my neighbor gave me, and it works very well, and it was pretty cheap. So this will last me probably for 2 years. So let me go ahead and get all that, and we're going to blend that up until it's nice and well incorporated. Okay, and now we got, this is the 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We got 1 teaspoon of salt and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. And we got so basically, and we got 1 egg. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the egg with the batter, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that incorporated first, and then I'm gonna mix in the flour, the salt, and the baking soda. So actually I'm gonna mix these 2 together, get these well incorporated first, and then I'll start mixing it to the mix. So I'm gonna use my blender with the egg and just kind of get that incorporated first. So let me get that done. All right, so here's my flour, salt, and baking soda, and here's the rest of the mix. And basically, we're going to incorporate this into here, and I'm gonna just use a spoon to incorporate it, because you don't want to over mix this part of it. And then once you got it blended, we'll go ahead and add 1 cup of chocolate chips and 1 cup of chopped nuts, like pecans, if you really wanted it, but I'm not going to add that. So I'm gonna just start with a little bit of flour and just kind of work in small amounts to where everything's incorporated. My mixture was getting a little dry, so I went ahead and added 1 teaspoon of milk, or in my case I used half a teaspoon of evaporated milk and half a teaspoon of water. And that's how it should look once you get it all nice and mixed. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of chocolate chips, semi-sweet. And I should be doing this on parchment paper, but I don't have any, so I'm just kind of winging it. There you go, that's 1 cup. And like I said, if you want to chop nuts, you can also add a cup of chopped nuts to it as well. So let me go ahead and get this blended up, and then I'll show you the next step. And to blend it, I like to just kind of fold it, then use my spatula and just kind of cut it into it, you know. Just keep folding it until everything's well incorporated. It's pretty much there at this point. All right, I'll show you the next step. So my neighbor had some I borrowed, and I like using a 2. This is the size I made them last time, 2 tablespoons, and I basically just take a little scoop of them, like such, and just kind of form it loosely. Just kind of drop them in. Leave about 2 inches or so between them, because they will expand as they cook. So, you know, I heap it up a little bit on the spoon, but not too much. I mean, you can make them as big as you want, really, but, and you know, divide them about like that. So let me get them all done. All right, so I got them all made. The recipe says it'll make 3 dozen, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm making 18. Like I said, mine's probably a little bit bigger, but I like a pretty good sized cookie, and I think the 2 tablespoon size is a pretty good sized cookie. So I'm doing 2 pans. So there's pan 1. And hopefully when they cook, they don't get too close to each other, but we'll see. There's pan 2. And the directions say if you want chewy, you do between 8 and 10 minutes. And if you want crispy, you want 11 to 13 minutes. So I'm gonna do these around 10 minutes, I think, and we'll see what they look like. My oven tends to cook a little bit slower, I find, so I'm gonna do 10. I think last time I did 13, so I think somewhere between 11 or so would probably be perfect, but I'll see. I'm gonna do 10, I'm gonna check them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, this has been about 11.5 minutes, and as you can see, the bottom is starting to get a little brown on them. The top is still a little bit soft. Like I said, you kind of gotta play around with to get it to your perfect doneness, but I think I'm gonna let this go another minute or so. They're still a little bit soft to the touch, so maybe around, I'm gonna probably let my oven go around 13 minutes, and I think that'll be good. So another minute, but like I say, my oven cooks kind of low, so probably between 8 and 10 minutes for a regular oven. This oven's kind of old, so that's why I think it cooks a little slower. So 8 to 10 minutes for chewy, 11 to 13 for crispy. So I'm gonna do mine for 13, and I think that'd be perfect. Well, that's how my cookies came out, and they're actually a little chewy, which is the kind of way I want them. I didn't want them real crispy, but I'll kind of break one open here. You can kind of see what it looks like. Oh yeah. That's the way a chocolate chip cookie should be. And this ain't no like hand-me-down generation cookie recipe. This is actually right off the old pack of Crisco Shortening. So I made it one time before, and it was some of the best chocolate chip cookies I ever had. And it's real easy to make. Like I said, I'm gonna put all the ingredients on there, but just kind of watch it. If you want it crispier, just cook it longer. If you want it chewier, just cook it less. But yeah, this is a really good cookie. I mean, it's, like I said, you could have put chopped pecans in here as well. But I love chocolate chip cookie. That's just so good. I mean, that came out really good. Like I said, it's still chewy, which is the way I wanted it. I don't really want it crispy. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And the thumbs up thingy would be much appreciated. Thanks.